Man, I know y'all seen that fight last night. Devin Haney got smacked by Ryan Garcia. And I know a lot of people don't like Ryan Garcia. I ain't got a problem with him. He like any other boss. He gonna talk his trash, try to promote his fights. He's more gimmicky, I know, on the social media stuff. But when you out there laying them hands on people, you winning fights, you gotta respect it, man. He won a big fight last night. Respect to Ryan Garcia. So in this episode of More to the Game podcast, we're gonna talk about the fight and we're gonna talk about the NBA playoffs because you know we gotta dive into what's going on in the league. But back to the fight, man. I tuned into that fight in the, I want to say fourth round. I want to say fourth round. I want to say, and Ryan Garcia wasn't all that active. They said he had landed a big shot on Haney in the first round, and Haney had been dominated since then. And I seen him land some more shots on Haney, and then I was like, he knocked him down, but then he wasn't really like going for the finish in certain instances. I felt like he had him wobbled and he wasn't going for the finish. I was like, he's fighting a little scared, man. He need to go ahead and finish him. That's why I'm a Bud Crawford fan. Like, Terrence Crawford is my favorite boxer because he's the best finisher in the game. Like, once you're hurt in front of Bud Crawford, he's going to finish you. He's going to leave no doubt. Ask any of his opponents. Once they're hurt, he's going for the kill. But Ryan Garcia ended up going for that kill later on in the fight, and he won. He knocked him down 3 times. Some judge had it as a draw. Like, what? There's no way that fight was a draw. The other judges had Ryan Garcia winning pretty convincingly. And the referee was going crazy, too. Like, what? Like, he was... I don't even want to talk about referees. Let's not talk about referees. I support referees. Referees are funny, man. But yeah, I know it's a lot of discourse on Ryan Garcia and how he handled the fight because he came in overweight. And when he was overweight, he was on the scale drinking a beer or whatever. I'm going to give my honest opinion. I think that Ryan Garcia wanted to fight this fight overweight. I feel like in his mind, the only way he was going to win, or the best way for him to win this fight, was to be overweight and not make it a title fight. He don't get the belts. And if he would have lost that fight to Devin Haney, people would not have respected him. It would have hurt his bag. He would have been looked at as a lesser fighter. But the fact that he won without the titles, he don't got the belt. So that's not, extra money in terms of his next fight. Like, he's not going to be able to have a championship fight by holding the belts. But by beating Devin Haney, his bag going to go up off that. And now he's looked at as a respectable quality opponent that has to demand big fights. Like, it makes sense now for a Tank Davis to get a rematch for Ryan Garcia. It would make sense for Lomachenko to fight Ryan Garcia. It would make sense for Shakur, even though that's not going to happen. Like, any of those fighters, it makes sense now because he got a major pelt on his wall. So I think that he came in overweight on purpose. He wanted to win the fight. Forget the belts. He wins the fight. It changes the narrative around his name. His legacy is uplifted. Because after the Tank Davis fight, everyone said that he wasn't really one of those guys. He can't take a punch, all that. Like, so people wasn't really respecting him. He had another fight since then, but this was the fight. And this makes that bag go up. So I think it was all a part of the plan to come in overweight. He wanted to be strong. He didn't want to be dehydrated like he was against Tank. He wanted to win the fight. And he knew he could beat Haney because they was 3-3 in amateurs. So they knew each other well. So he was very confident that he could beat him. And he took that risk and it paid off because now, he don't got the belts. He's above Haney now. Before the fight, he was not looked at as being on the same level as Haney. He was looked at below. Now he's above Haney and probably under Lomachenko, under Shakur, under Tank, all in that 135, 140 class. Like, he's right underneath them, but above Haney. So I think it was all a part of the plan. Now with Devin Haney, that boy looked bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he lost to Lomachenko. Like, when they fought, well, I ain't gonna say everyone, but a lot of people said it was a robbery. I watched the fight and it looked like Lomachenko won. I know Haney had good rounds earlier, but Lomachenko was beating him up in that fight. Haney don't really got power like that. Um, he's a smaller guy than Ryan. He doesn't really have power. Um, his defense wasn't on point. He kept getting hit by that left hook. I just don't see Haney being one of those guys. His dad gets a lot of flack for how he talks and everything, and now everyone is talking smack about Haney and them, Bill and Devin on Twitter. Like they don't get them boys a rest. All the memes, all the quotes coming back up. Like it's not looking good for the Haney family, and Haney definitely gonna have to learn from that fight and come back better because he's not. I don't feel like he has that it to him. Like all boxers got something that's just really special about him. I don't think there's anything really special about Haney. Like I say, like with a Garcia, he got the quick hands and some power with it. Obviously, Tank got a lot of power. And he's a good boxer. Shakur is a great defensive boxer, even though he was running in one of his fights, his last fight, I want to say, or the fight before. He didn't throw no punches, but he's a great defensive fighter. Lomachenko, champion, he speaks for himself. He's a great fighter. And it got a crazy chin. So Devin Haney don't got a chin. He don't got the power. His defense is not up to snuff where it should be for somebody that don't have power like that. I just don't. I don't really. In my perspective, I don't like him that much as a fighter. I don't. But best of luck to the Haney family. Hopefully they bounce back, prove me wrong, prove all the haters, all the doubters wrong, and come back stronger in a possible rematch. I don't know if they're gonna do a rematch. I'm guessing they would have to. I don't know if it's in the contract or not, but he probably gonna want a rematch. But he probably gonna try to put the stipulations in that. See, that's another reason why Ryan Garcia is smart. Now that he won the fight, he's gonna have more power for the rematch. He's gonna be able to demand maybe a catch weight, definitely no rehydration clause. He probably turns into the A side now. I would think he turns into the A side of the fight because he already has the bigger following. I think so. He's got a lot of leverage now. A lot. That's a power move by Ryan Garcia. But to hoops, man, to the hoops, the NBA playoffs. Play-in was crazy to me. The Lakers beat the Pelicans. Zion get hurt. Then the Pelicans beat the Kings, who had beat the Warriors. Like I said, Warriors cooked. We know this. We know this over here most of the game. Warriors are cooked. But then the Pelicans beat the Kings with no Zion. The Kings were just a number 2 seed last year. Number 2 seed. I know Malik Monk is injured, and I want to say Kevin Huerter is injured. Is he injured? I want to say Kevin Huerter's out. So they were down some men, but I think that without Zion, you got to be able to win that game. And they got beat handedly. It wasn't like a close game. They got beat by a good margin. On the East side, Embiid is hobbled, but they were able to squeak out a win against the Heat. Jimmy got hurt, and the Heat still ended up winning that next game against the Bulls. The Bulls are just pathetic, man. I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know what the direction of their franchise is right now because they paying Levine a lot of money. DeRozan about to leave in free agency. I don't know if Vucevic got more time on his deal. I don't know if he's a free agent or not. I think he's a free agent. They got to pay Kobe White. Don't know what's going to happen with Lonzo Ball and his health. The rest of the pieces on the team are expendable besides Caruso. He's a really valuable piece, but he needs to be on a contender. Like they probably need to trade him for some draft picks to a contender somewhere like the Bucks or I don't know, back to the Lakers. But yeah, Bulls, they're just pathetic. And then the Heat, they're just going to be in the playoffs for fun at this point because without Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, they're going to get smoked by the Celtics. But in the first round matchups last night, the Cavs, they did it to the Magic. The Magic, it was my first time seeing the Magic playoffs. I watched about half of that game, I would say, parts of the second and third and fourth quarter, parts of it, in and out. The Magic just don't have half-court offense. It's like Banchero, ISO, or somebody just going to try to drive and kick or something. They don't really have a lot of sets and actions they go to in the half-court. They're a young team. They're going to have to figure that out. The Cavs, they just big, they long. They got the two bigs in there. And then even though Garland got hurt, he hurt his back, he was playing through it. He wasn't really himself, but Donovan Mitchell, he led the way. I want to say he had 31. Yeah, he had a good showing. But then the next game was the Suns and T-Wolves. And the Suns, I told y'all, man. The Suns not going to win a championship. You got three dudes that all do the same thing. To make a championship team, you need complementary pieces. And they just don't got that. They don't got the pieces. Like they got pieces, but it's like they got pieces to different puzzles. Like they got like a big piece of one puzzle, a big piece of this puzzle, a big piece of that puzzle. But those pieces don't fit together to create, one puzzle. If you were to, add in, some different type pieces to swap out those big pieces you got, you have a chance to win a championship. But I don't think they're gonna win a championship with that roster. Not with that big three. And let me not forget about what Ant-Man did in that game. He took over. They call him Mike. They call him Little Mike, Young Mike, Mike Jordan. He was definitely playing like it. He was going right at KD in that third quarter, like 1-on-1. I mean, set a screen, KD don't switch. Okay, cool. He's still going right at KD. He hit a bunch of shots in a row. I want to say like 3 in a row right in KD's grill. I said he was going at it and talking. Like, he's different. He's definitely different. And shout out to Minnesota Timberwolves because I definitely said that the Rudy Gobert trade could possibly be the worst trade of all time. And it's working out for him this season. Last year wasn't a success, but this season has been a success. They got the defense, them boys, you locking up. And McDaniels, Rudy, Cat, not a defensive player like that, but, he's giving effort. And Nikhil Alexander Walker, what is his name? Gilgeous Alexander Walker, I don't know. Nikhil, whatever his name is, my bad. But yeah, the Timberwolves, they be locking up. I respect that. So I was wrong, I guess. The Rudy Gobert trade, I guess, worked out, even though I'm not really a Rudy Gobert fan. Unfortunately, my Lakers lost to the Nuggets. D-Lo. D'Angelo Russell got to play better, man. He got to. Like, all season, he been hooping, like, shooting 42% from three, I want to say. Like, he been hooping confident. And we all was wondering, like, when the playoffs come around, is he still going to be hooping like this? So, next game is going to be the key. If he has a good game next game, okay, it was just that one game fluke. But if he has another bad game, it's gonna lead me to believe that it's the playoffs getting to him. It's not just a bad game. It's the playoffs because he's been hooping all season, like hooping. He's the biggest reason why the Lakers were making that run because his added production was crucial. He was helping so much. But yeah, they lost to the Nuggets. I mean, I don't expect the Lakers to win the series. I predict the Nuggets are gonna win like 6, but I'm a Lakers fan, so deep down in me, I'm holding out. I hope they can win. But it's tough. Jokic out there, he's different. He's the best player in the league. Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA. Please understand that. He is the best. I know you got Embiid, Giannis, Ant, Shea, Bron, KD, Kyrie, Steph, whoever, Luka, Tatum. He's the best. Jokic is the best. And the Nuggets, they handle business. They beat the Lakers. The reason why the Nuggets are so good is because unlike a lot of these teams like the Celtics, the Clippers, the Suns, who got these redundant pieces, they got a two-man game they can always rely on. That Jokic-Murray two-man game closes out games in the playoffs. And it's hard to stop. Because Jokic is such a great passer. You switch, you're going to kill the mismatch. You double, you're going to find open man. You hedge, he can shoot his floater, pop, whatever. Like Murray, obviously, you give him any type of gap, he can get downhill, he can ISO, he can shoot a step back in, he can stop behind the screen. Like the Nuggets, it's a tough task, man. I like that though, because that's what I like about basketball. When you put a team together and the pieces fit and it all works. That's the beautiful part about basketball. And that's why if a team like the Celtics win, I don't know how much invested I could be in the NBA because that would mean that the NBA and basketball has changed fundamentally. I feel like the best teams are teams that work together, and I don't see that when you got two players to do the same thing. But that's just my personal opinion. That's just me. I'm standing on that hill, down on that hill. But man, I'm definitely glad to be back on the pod, give y'all some content. It's been a minute. I was sick. Whole team was sick 1 week. One weekend we had a game, was all sick with the flu. And then last week, I was still getting over it, so I couldn't get nothing out by the weekend. Along the fact that we played Saturday and was on the island, so like the travel to get back and playing, like it was just too much to try to like put something out that Sunday. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys stay tuned to what's to come next. It's gonna be crazy. Like the content is really gonna be crazy after my season in Portugal is over. The content's gonna be crazy. But I'm still gonna get y'all content as much as I can while I'm in season. We got one more regular season game left, and we in the Cup semis and the playoffs. So it's winding down. Stay locked in with me. Stay locked in. I ain't going nowhere. Trust me. I'm still here.